If you have a tween, I'm sure you're familiar with the sassy attitude, snarky comments, and the dramatic eye roll.
I mean, all too well. If you're not there quite yet, buckle up. Journalist Meg St Esprit joins us now to talk about how their angst will impact your own emotions. Wow. Yeah. This feels personal.
It really does.
It really does.
And you wrote a couple articles about this on Scary Mommy, like just exploring all the things that you're going through personally.
Right, yeah. So our kids are 12. We have 10-year-old twins, and then we have a 5-year-old. So we have 3 kind of in that adolescent phase right now, and I process my feelings through writing. So I have vented on Scary Mommy a lot about having 3 tweens right now.
I love the way you write. I feel like I'm reading and talking to a friend, and I so appreciate that. The slang started way earlier than I ever anticipated. I was just telling you, my 5-year-old actively uses the word bussin'.
This popcorn's bussin', Mom.
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
Oh my God, and you're like, thank you, that's a compliment. But also, how should we be taking on these slang words? Because a lot of the time I want to react as though it's disrespect, but I also know growing up we all had them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's disrespect. I mean, my kids laugh at me if I use them back, but I think that it's also showing them that you're listening. I mean, everything about development at this age is really related to peers and their own identity and their forming brains. This is the point where their brains are a hot mess because they're starting to restructure themselves for adulthood. So I think it's, if you can pepper it in, they're gonna laugh at you, but it's a little point of connection. It's like, okay, I'm listening.
Oh, I love that take.
You also wrote about dealing with the high emotions of having a tween, because I think that we are reactive. Like, wait a minute, just yesterday you were my sweet little angel, and now all of a sudden you're slamming the door. Like, that's not okay with me. We don't act like
No, we are friends.
We're friends, right? I mean, in a way, right?
Right.
That's also not
to a certain point.
Right.
Yeah.
But you want them to find comfort in talking to you, and yet all of a sudden they just start shutting off.
Yeah, and you know, what makes me feel better is knowing that it's developmentally appropriate. So long before there was all these amazing parenting, you know, influencers, authors like Dr. Becky Kennedy, Lisa D'Amour, that all talk about teen development. Eric Erickson, he started way back, he was born in the early 1900s, said that like the key features of this phase are their identity versus role confusion. And so they are trying things on. They're trying personalities on, and their brains, kind of, because they're doing all that, if you look at your brain like this, and this is your functioning brain, but they flip their lid, we call it, and they're functioning on this little, the amygdala, which is their reptilian brain, and it's all emotions, fight or flight, defense, and so when they slam the door, they flip their lid, they're not hearing you until they get back to this.
Right, so they need to like regulate, and they're still learning to do that.
Oh yeah, they don't know at all. They don't know what they're doing.
And I will say, isn't that the truth?
Just a reminder.
We already knew that exactly.
But it's appropriate to not know what they're doing.
Exactly. We don't want them to, believe me, not right now. I will say that whenever my daughter gets home, and this is her first year in school, and being around other kids this much, she's extra sassy. When she gets off that school bus, my mom, who watches her on certain days, is like, I don't even know this kid.
I know, right?
And you want to react again and being like, whoa, 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 this is not my kid. Is there any other way that we can handle that besides, you know, is it just letting them regulate?
You know, first of all, that is the hardest time of our day, is that after school hour. Oh my goodness. I do think when we try to like bring them down with our words, like, stop it, you're being sassy, we don't talk like that. They're not hearing it, they're here.
Right.
I think when we model it and we're calm, they can get back to here and they can start to hear it. But they do. They sometimes need some space. They need food. They're hangry.
Yes.
Why are they so hungry?
They're burning.
Did they run a marathon?
Seriously, all day. They're burning energy. They come home. Often they're like monsters, and then they eat, and they're like, "There's my sweet babies."
Yeah.
You know.
One of the things that you wrote in the article too, which I think that everybody can appreciate, is that we just have to remember how hard it was for us.
Yes. Yeah.
And because we can't control it, because they are like this, right?
Yeah.
Until they can get back like this, we need to do what we can do, which is regulate ourselves to be able to deal with it appropriately.
Yeah, I joked that I understand now why my mom snuck out to smoke behind the garage. Not condoning smoking, but like,
oh my God,
she needed her mom break.
She needed her mom break. So whatever, healthier manner. Go take a couple minutes. Like, when their lid is flipped, give them a little space and take your own space. Our lids can flip as adults, not as often.
Oh yeah.
And go hide in the pantry and eat some Girl Scout cookies, whatever you need to do until you can come back to them at a better place. Because otherwise, I mean, I'm sure we've had those screaming matches. They don't go anywhere.
Right. They don't. They end with everybody crying.
Including you, Mom.
Yeah, right.
So
oh my gosh, yeah.
All right, Meg, thank you so much.
It.
And if you're interested in checking out Meg's articles on tweens, we're going to have the links on our website at kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.